Jai Hind students. So today in this lecture we are going to start the complex lecture series on subject embedded systems. Embedded systems, the code for embedded systems is BOE 062 and it is an open elective subject in AKTU. According to AKTU, we'll proceed with unit wise syllabus and we'll cover a complex lecture from each unit, one from each unit. So from unit 1, as per my understanding, one of the most important topics that is very frequently asked in your internals as well as in your external exams is structural units of a embedded processor. So we are going to start with this topic, structural units in an embedded processor. So first of all, it is important to understand what is an embedded system and what is an embedded processor and what are the difference between these two things. So embedded system. An embedded system is made up of several elements, out of which the most important one is embedded processor, because it is considered as the heart of your embedded system. Along with the processor, the embedded system consists of input-output devices, various interfaces, memory is there. So the most important part, the heart of the embedded system is embedded processor. And in this lecture, we are going to study the structural units of embedded processor. So moving on, first of all, we will study the internal buses. How many types of internal buses are there in the structural unit of embedded processor? So as you can see from this diagram, there are 3 buses: address bus, data bus and control bus. So these 3 are the important internal buses present in the embedded processor. It internally connects, the bus is internally connecting all the structural units inside the processor, and its width can be 8, 16, 32 or 64 bits depending upon the type of processor which you are using. Okay, so these internal buses are very important as they are interconnecting all the various units inside a processor. The types can be address bus. First of all, address bus is the external bus that carries the address from the memory to the memory as well as the input output devices and other units of the system. Okay, so address bus is the bus which is carrying the address to and from memory or input output devices to the memory address register. Here this MAR stands for memory address register. This is also one of the unit of your embedded processor. Okay, we'll study it later on. So its purpose is to carry the address either from MAR to memory or IO, okay, as well as to the other units of the system. Then we have data bus. Data bus ka kya role hai? It is an external bus that carries the data from or to the address. Okay, so it is carrying the data online and the width can be again 8, 16, 32 depending upon the type of processor which you are using. Then third one is the control bus. Control bus, it is an external bus to carry control signals between the processor and the memory devices. Okay, so along with address and data, the third thing is exchange of control signals between the processor and other devices. Okay, so the control signals will be exchanged through this control bus. And for all these 3 different kinds of buses, there will be a bus interface unit, BIU. Isko we call in short, the unit is BIU. It is the interface unit between the processor's internal units with the external buses. So these 3 buses, that is address bus, data bus and control bus, these 3 buses are interfaced with the microprocessor with the help of BIU, that is bus interface unit. So we'll again check the diagram. We have 3 buses, address bus carrying the address between MAR and memory and input output. This is the MAR, memory address register, which we were talking about. Then data bus is carrying the data between your processor and the devices, and this is the control bus which is carrying the control signals between the processor and the other devices. And here we have BIU, that is bus interface unit. This bus interface unit is bus interface unit. It is the point of interface between your processor and the external buses, the 3 buses which we have talked about. Bus interface unit, BIU. Okay, so we have completed this section. Next we'll move to another 2 important parts or units of your processor, that is MAR and MDR. So MAR stands for memory address register, as I have already told you. and MDR stands for memory data register. Okay, MAR, it holds the address of the byte or the word to be fetched from the external memories. So whatever byte or word has been fetched from the external memory will be saved in MAR. Okay. Next, MDR, it holds the byte or the word fetched from or to the memory or the input output devices. Okay, the data will be kept in MDR and the address will be kept in MAR. We'll check again. Here we have MAR, memory address register, and here we have MDR, that is memory data register. So these two registers are basically associated with the external buses, and whatever is being exchanged between these external buses and the other external devices is kept in these registers, memory address register and memory data register. Moving on further, we have another some important registers, and we'll check first two registers, that is program counter PC, इसको हम short में कहते हैं PC, program counter, and SP, that is stack pointer. Let us check what is the role of these two registers. So stack pointer and program counter. First of all, we will see where these two registers are located in the diagram. This is the program counter PC and this is the stack pointer SP. So these two registers are also in line with your MAR and MDR, which we have already studied. So what is the role of program counter and stack pointer? Program counter is a register which holds the address of next instruction to be executed. What does this mean? This means that whenever you are, your processor is executing a program, it is executing a program line by line. So there is various addresses allocated to these different instructions. So when one of the instruction is already in execution, the address of the next instruction which is to be executed in sequence is stored in PC, that is program counter. So program counter holds the memory address of the next instruction that would be executed. जो अगली instruction आने वाली है execution के लिए, उसका memory address, that memory address will be located in program counter. Next we have stack pointer. What is a stack pointer? Stack is nothing but a memory section like this, and stack pointer SP points to the top entry of this stack. Okay, whenever we have to push the data on the stack, that is we have to enter the data onto the stack pointer will be incremented, and when we pop the data out of the stack, that is when we when we withdraw the data from this memory stack, then stack pointer will be decremented accordingly. Okay, so stack pointer, it is a pointer for an address which corresponds to the stack top of the memory, in the memory. Okay, so these two registers I hope are clear, program counter and stack pointer, very important registers for a processor. Then we have three registers which we will study along with instruction register, short में इसको IR लिखा होगा diagram में. Then we have instruction decoder and then we have instruction queue. What does this mean? Let us locate these three registers. These three registers are located here. Okay, this is instruction queue, this is instruction register, and this is instruction decoder. Okay, so let us check what is the role of these three registers. Instruction register, it takes sequentially the instruction codes to execution unit of the processor. Okay, so what is the main role of the processor? Processor का जो role है, you can divide it into three main steps, that is fetch, decode and execute. क्या करता है आपका प्रोसेसर? It has to fetch the instruction line by line from the memory, then it has to decode that instruction, and then it has to execute it. So whenever your instructions are fetched, they are stored in the instruction register. It takes sequentially the instruction codes to the execution unit of the processor. So this is the register which will take these instructions in a sequential manner to the execution unit of your processor. Decoder, it decodes the instructions opcode received at the IR and passes it to the processor's control unit. Okay, हमने बात की थी कि तीन काम है प्रोसेसर के, fetch करना, decode करना, execute करना. So instruction decoder register will decode the instruction. Then instruction queue, it is the queue of the instruction so that the IR does not have to wait for the next instruction after one has been carried out. It is just like a simple queue, like you people must have studied in microprocessor 8086. There is a 6-byte queue which is maintained. So whenever a processor is under working, so it does not have to wait. In Q register, there will be already an instruction which is ready for the instruction register. So these three registers are clear, I hope. Instruction Q, instruction register, and instruction decoder, all related to execution of an instruction. Before execution of an instruction, how an instruction is sequentially fetched, then decoded, and then it is passed to the processor's control unit CU, which is present here. CU, control unit. Okay, next we have very important again units of your embedded processor, arithmetic and logical unit, ALU. इसको हम short में क्या कहते हैं? ALU, arithmetic and logical unit. As it is quite clear from its name only, arithmetic and logical functions. Two types of functions are performed by the microprocessor, by the processor, and these are arithmetic instructions including your plus, minus, multiply, divide, depending upon the ability of your processor, how many functions it can perform. And logical instructions, the logical instructions which are associated with your gate functions, okay, Boolean algebra gate functions. So these arithmetic and logical unit is present, which is capable of performing all the arithmetic and logical functions. Let us locate the ALU. The ALU is here, arithmetic and logical unit. Next we have floating point processing unit, FPPU. Very important, floating point processing unit. It is a unit which is separate from ALU for floating point processing, which is essential in processing mathematical functions fast in microprocessor or DSP. DSP stands for digital signal processing here. Okay, digital signal processor. So floating point, why it is important? Because our numbers are not, or we can say our computations are not always in whole integer form. Okay, we have floating point numbers also. So to incorporate that functionality, there is a separate processor which has been included called floating point processing unit. Let us locate it. Floating point processing unit. This is your FLPU, or it can be written as FPPU, floating point processing unit. Okay. Now, one thing here which you should consider is its block diagram is not with solid line, it is with dashed line. However, ALU is drawn with a solid line, and there are so many portions, so many units in this particular diagram which have been drawn with solid line and some which have been drawn with dashed line. So what is the difference between them? See, understand what a basic processor, some units are there which are the bare minimum requirements कि ये तो होना ही होना चाहिए. Okay, so ALU is must in always in all processors, it is must. But there are some processors, there are some units which are present in advanced processors, so they may or they may not be present in all the processors. Okay, so floating point processing unit is one of the unit which may not be present in all the processors. Since we are talking about a generic diagram, we are talking about a generic embedded processor, that's why we have included all the units which can be possible in a particular processor. However, the solid ones, the solid block diagrams, these are the units which are the bare minimum requirements for a processor. However, the dashed ones are those which may or may not be present depending upon the type of processor you are considering. Okay, so floating point processing unit is one which is taking care of the computations which involve floating point numbers. All right. Then associated with this, we have another unit which is called floating point register set. To hold this is a register set which is dedicated for storing floating point numbers in a standard format and used by FPPU for its data and stack. Okay, you can check in the diagram. This floating point register set is associated with, this is the floating point register set which is associated with your floating point processing unit. Okay, and it is specific register which is used to hold the floating point style of numbers. Okay, so these two have been drawn with dashed lines. Then we have control unit. Control unit, it must have been drawn with a solid line because it is a bare minimum requirement of a processor. It has to be there in every processor. It controls all the bus activities, सारी की सारी आपकी bus activities and unit functions needed for processing. The main control unit. We can check it in the diagram. This is the control unit associated with the instruction queue, instruction register and instruction decoder, because these registers have to pass the instructions after decoding to CU, control unit, for further execution. After control unit, we have memory management unit. Memory management unit, MMU. It manages the memory such that instructions and data that are readily available for processing. Okay, so for memory management, there is another unit called MMU. This is the memory management unit, MMU, and you can see again it is in a dashed box because it may or may not be present in a processor. It will depend upon the type of processor. Okay, it is not the bare minimum requirement. So memory management unit is there. Then we have application register set. It is a set of on-chip registers. On-chip मतलब आपके प्रोसेसर की चिप पे ही जो प्रेजेंट है, अलग से मेमोरी के साथ इंटरफेसिंग नहीं की बात नहीं कर रहे हैं हम. Here we are talking about the registers, the memory which is already present, embedded on the chip of your processor. So it is a set of on-chip registers which are used during processing the instructions of the application program of the user. Let us check where are the application register set is there. Application register set is there. Okay, so these are the ARS, application register set. You must have studied in different types of microprocessors like 8085, 8086 that there are different registers like A, B, C, D, AX, BX, CX and 8086. So these are the application register sets which are used for the internal operations, and it is a bare minimum requirement. So it is already present in almost all the processors. Without fill it will be present. Then we have different types of cache memory. Let us check it one by one. So we have three different types of cache memory: instruction cache, data cache and branch target or BT cache. ठीक है? First of all, we'll locate it in the diagram as we always do. So here are the three different types of cache memory. Again, all these three are with dashed lines. This is instruction cache, branch target cache, that is BT cache, and data cache. So all these three memory are with dashed line. It means that they are not necessarily present in all the processors. Instruction cache, it sequentially stores like an instruction queue the instructions in FIFO. FIFO stands for first in first out. Okay, first in first out. So जो पहले इनपुट हुआ वो पहले आउटपुट होगा, मतलब 1 2 3 4 अगर ऐसे क्यू में इंस्ट्रक्शंस लगी हैं तो पहले नंबर पे जो इनपुट हुई थी वो ही पहले नंबर पे आउट होगी, फिर दूसरे नंबर पे ये आउट होगी, तीसरे नंबर पे ये आउट होगी. दैट इज कॉल्ड FIFO, फर्स्ट इन फर्स्ट आउट मैनर. So it is for sequentially storing the instructions like an instruction queue register. Okay. Data cache, it stores the prefetched data from the external memory. The data cache generally holds both the key value together at the location. So it is for storing the data which has been fetched from the external units. Then branch target cache is a specialized cache memory that stores the address of recently executed branch instructions. Okay, so there are some instructions. We have studied the type of instructions and one of the category was branch instructions. It means the branching is done like jump, call. These are the instructions which are used for branching within a program or branching to a different subroutine when we use call. So branching, when branching is done, in that case your cache memory, your branch target memory comes into picture, and what it does is it stores the address of recently executed branch instructions. Their target address where the program should jump if the branch is taken. Okay, so if the branch is taken, we apply conditional jump statements. Jump if 0, jump if not 0. So if that branch is taken, for example, the particular address is stored in branch target cache memory. So this allows the processor to immediately fetch the next instruction without waiting for the branch to be resolved. So basically, this is used to increase the speed of your processor. Okay, so the processor does not have to wait for the branching instruction. Okay, it immediately gets it and the processor speed is improved. So we have three different types of cache memory. Here, instruction cache to hold the instructions in a queue. Branch target cache, which comes into picture when we are talking about the branching instructions, and data cache, which is used to prefetch the data from the external devices. Okay, so these are the different memories which may or may not be present in a processor. Next next unit which we will discuss is prefetch control unit. Prefetch control unit. Let us locate it in the diagram. Prefetch control unit. Here is your prefetch control unit, PFCU. And again from memory management ke just upar, memory management unit ke just upar, prefetch control unit, and again it is with dashed line. It means it may not be present in all the processors. Prefetch control unit, what is its function? So it is a unit that controls the prefetching of data into the I cache and D cache in advance from the memory units. Okay, so it is basically associated with instruction cache and data cache memory, and whatever the functioning of these different registers or cache memories is there, it is controlled by your prefetch control unit. Then we have a register window. It consists of a subset of registers. Register window, a normal one. Register window consists of subset of registers, with each subset storing static variables and status words of tasks of the program or thread. Okay, this is a simple register memory of your processors. Then we have APU, Advanced Processing Units. Advanced Processing Units, APU. Let us locate. These are the Advanced Processing Units. Advanced Processing Units is again with a dashed line, which means it may or may not be present. Okay, because many of the basic processors does not have Advanced Processing Units. Advanced Processing Units, it includes, these are the units used for multi-stage pipeline processing, multiple superscalar processing to obtain processing speed higher than one instruction per clock cycle. Okay, so these are some advanced units which may or may not be present in a processor and are used for multi-stage pipeline processing. Means when we are talking about executing more than one instruction per clock cycle. Then we have Atomic Operations Unit, AOU. Atomic Operations Unit. Atomic Operations Unit, AOU. Again, this is with dashed line. It means it may or may not be present in a processor. Let us study its role. It lets a user instruction when broken into number of processor instructions called atomic operation. Okay, so when we broke an instruction into sub instructions or different small parts, so this is called atomic operation. Let us check the entire diagram once again. We have covered all the units. This is the, sorry, I have forgotten to mark this one. This is the register set, register window or the register set. So we have completed the entire diagram starting from the external buses, including address bus, data bus and control bus, which are carrying address, data, control signals between the processor and the external devices. These three buses are handled with the help of bus interface unit. Bus interface unit is a point which is interfacing these external buses with your processor. Then we move to two important registers associated with BIU, that is MAR and MDR, memory address register, memory data register. Okay. Then we have three different instruction registers, including instruction queue, which is used to hold the instructions in a queue. Instruction registers, it is sequentially passing the instructions, and instruction decoder register, that is, it is decoding the instruction before it is being passed to the control unit CU. CU is taking all the instructions in a sequence for the execution of a program. Then we have arithmetic and logical unit for all the arithmetic and logical operations. FPPU or FLPU, it is floating point processing unit, which is used for the operations of floating point numbers. Then we have a register associated with it, which is called floating point register set. Then we have ALU के साथ जो associated register है, this is called application register set. This is mandatory, this is not mandatory. Okay, this is a condition, this is a particular unit which has to be present in all the processors, whereas floating point processing unit and FRS, this will be present only in some advanced processors. Then we have atomic unit. Atomic operations unit is also present in some advanced processors for performing atomic operations. Then we have program counter and stack pointer, important registers always present in all the processors. Program counter, it is used to hold the instruction of next instruction, address of next instruction to be executed sequentially in a program, and stack pointer, it is used to mark the top entry of your stack. Then we have memory management unit and prefetch control unit. Memory management unit is used to hold the memory addresses, and prefetch control unit is associated with all these three different types of cache memory. This is instruction cache, used to hold the instructions in queue, branch target cache used for branching instructions, and data cache used to prefetch the data in advance. All these three may or may not be present depending upon the type of processor again, and these are used to increase the speed of your processor. Advanced processing unit again used to increase the speed of your processor through multiple pipelining operations. This is the register set window, which is holding the important registers, internal memory registers. So this is about the entire embedded processor, which is one of the very important topic of unit number 1 in embedded systems and structural unit in embedded processor. You should know each and every unit clearly because this question is asked in maximum numbers. So that's all for today's lecture. We have covered all the structural units in embedded processor. Thank you.